Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, on which depending on your location, please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos, news update. Freeing Kanu is in tandem with the rule of law. Right group tells Supreme Court. Yes, the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, Huriwa. Yes, they are calling the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Look, if you release Mazinam Kanu, you have not done anything wrong. Rather, you have obeyed the rule of law. They said releasing or freeing Mazinam Kanu unconditionally is in tandem with the rule of law. Said you have aligned yourself with the principle of the rule of law and constitutionalism, and the world, the international community will see you as a civilized people. Yes, the group said the Supreme Court would be upholding the supremacy of the principle of rule of law if it endorses the refined judgment granted Onyendu Mazinam Kanu by the Court of Appeal, which ordered the immediate freedom of the IPOB leader. Yes, in a statement, Orewa recalls that the appellate court, in a unanimous ruling last year, quashed all the charges slammed on Mazinam Kanu by the federal government on grounds of his extraordinary rendition by agents of government from Kenya. Yes, of course, you know that Onyendu Mazinam Kanu was abducted in a bizarre manner. Yes, by the secret police, Nigeria Secret Police, DSS. And he was bundled home, bundled, tortured, tormented, and bundled home to face illegal trial. Illegal trial, burden on terrorism at the orders of Muhammadu Buhari, the header, accused Onyendu falsely of terrorism because he's championing for the freedom of his own people. Now, Huri was saying, look, of course, that say, release him and you have obeyed the rule of law. Yes. Now, they said, according to this statement signed by Emmanuel Ombiko, yes, they said the appeal court said that the federal government breached all local and international laws and the forceful rendition of Mazinam Kanu to Nigeria, thereby making the terrorism charges against him incompetent and unlawful. Yes, incompetent and unlawful. The appeal court judgment by Justice Oludotu Adebola voided and set aside the charges by the federal government against Onyendu Mazinam Kanu. Now, the appellate court proceeded to discharge Onyendu from the alleged offences. Justice Adebola held that failure of Nigeria to follow due process by way of extradition was fatal to the charges against Onyendu Mazinam Kanu. Now, the appeal court further held that the failure of the federal government to disclose where and when the alleged offences were committed was also fatal to the terrorism charges and made them liable to dismissal. Yes, so the Huriwa said it was such a massive disappointment then that the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, with unambiguous impunity and lawlessness, disrespected the Court of Appeal's decision in the Nnamdi Kanu's matter for almost a month before filing and obtaining a stay of execution of the judgment of the appellate court freeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu, and then proceeded to file an appeal at the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Huriwa continues to say, anything contrary to affirming the earlier verdict of the Court of Appeal by the Supreme Court of Nigeria freeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will amount to the legalization of crass official impunity and executive lawlessness. They said the brazen and flagrant disregard to the principle of rule of law by then President Buhari, who failed to comply with the appeal court's verdict freeing Nnamdi Kanu, precipitated the biggest civil strife and killings in the southeast of Nigeria, with over 300 civilians and security operatives getting killed in crossfire between unidentified killer squads operating as unknown gunmen, just as the security forces, due to the tough approaches they have continued to adopt, have killed hundreds of innocent Igbo youths. Stressed the group. Yes, that's talking about the Uriwa. Uriwa is stressing this. Alright. So because he's expressing optimism, that's the group coordinator, Uriwa's coordinator, that in the interest of national security and because of the undying need to restore security and stability in the Southeast, that the Supreme Court of Nigeria will inevitably be guided by what is best for Nigeria and what will be best promote the principle of rule of law, even as the rights, their group said. Straightforward answer to these critical questions is for the nation's apex court to restore the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which had freed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Onyendu himself. Alright, so this is it. This is the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria. Of course, they are making a case for the Supreme Court to align themselves or itself with the appellate court. The reason they should do that, they have put forward. Okay? Yes, because the appellate court in the judgment was explicit. Yes, they were explicit in making sure that they outlined those faults. Yes, what gave rise to the judgment that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed no offense? What gave rise to the judgment that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to be freed of all the charges, instituted against him by the government of Buhari? Yes. So they gave explicit answer to the questions of the rendition. And the court said it was a fatal damage for the federal government and Kenyan government to abduct Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. The secret police bundled him. So that is extraordinary rendition and is against the laws of Nigeria and international laws. Extraordinary rendition? No, that's not the law. That's not what the law says. So the Huriwa is saying the Supreme Court have to align itself with the appellate court. In that way, Nigeria will be doing itself wonderful favor. Yes, look, by 15th, if they fail, it's not a threat. The Huriwa is saying it. They're not threatening anybody. They're saying it. After 15 December, if they refuse to, release the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it then means the country have descended to law to crush impunity of executive lawlessness. Yes, and a country that its leadership is lawless, they are not obeying the court judgment, they are obeying the law, the rule of law, and they are the custodian of these laws. Then what do you expect the people to do? Others. There are people who want to disobey the law in the first instance because it doesn't favor them. Yes, but they are watching you as a government, the custodian of this law. If you're upholding it, it will be difficult for them to disobey. But if you as a government, you are disobeying laws that you made, what do you expect the people to do? They will also do it. They'll follow you, yes, to do it. Flagrantly disobey it. Okay, so to avoid this situation, yes, because this country will go into banana. It's already banana. But this banana now we're talking about will be the one, that will be obvious and it will not augur well for the government and even the people. So the best bet is for the government, the Supreme Court, to obey this law. And the government at the center should not interfere in this judgment. The central government should not interfere by guiding and telling the Supreme Court what to say. No, allow them to do their job. And they have been told that they have to obey the rule of law. Nobody is asking them to do judgment in his favor, but to obey the rule of law. If you obey the rule of law, you will see the outcome. Yes, the outcome will be the freeing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.